Hi, today I'm going to be talking about how to research medieval art using the CU Boulder Library's tools and resources. I'll be showing resources available from the library's Medieval Art Research Guide, which is available at libguides.colorado.edu/medieval art. I'm going to start with some of our background sources, like encyclopedias and dictionaries, that can help you get familiar with a topic, help you get background information, or even help you pick a topic if you're not sure what you want to write about. Um, I'm going to start with Oxford Art Online, which is a really great general art encyclopedia. It has really in-depth entries on all sorts of art topics and is a really good place to start your research whenever you're doing work. Oftentimes, a really great way to use Oxford Art Online is to start with the name of the country that you're interested in the art of. So we might do, say, England. Um, we wait for it to show up. Okay, here's the article on England, just to give you an example. And it's going to be really long and cover all sorts of different arts of England over many hundreds, thousands of years. But we can use the table of contents to navigate to the type of art we're really interested in to learn more about it. So maybe I'm really interested in metal work, so I might open that up. Let's say gold and silver metal work. Okay, so it starts with before 1450, so that's sort of our medieval time period. And it starts covering Anglo-Saxon art, different places. It's going to have images. It's just going to tell us about it quite in depth, as well as a bibliography of sources to do more research. It's really nice to have the interconnected links. So maybe you want to focus in on Anglo-Saxon art, you can simply click over into that article. Right, and it's going to go, we're in Anglo-Saxon metalwork, right? But we could look at architecture or ivories, painting, right? And once again, you're going to see different links, lots of different information, images. And it's really just going to start you out, familiarize you with the topic, give you some ideas, and of course, give you a list of sources. You can also search a topic a little more specifically, say medieval swords. In this case, I might get some things I've seen, virtues and vices, a bunch of different things. I can limit by these different types of articles. Like a biographical article is only going to be about people. A place article is going to be like one of the articles we saw about England or a different place, or a subject article. These are going to be more articles on a big subject, like arms and armor, right? So I searched medieval swords, but oftentimes something like that is going to be under a topic like arms and armor. So it's really important to know the vocabulary and how people might refer to your topic. So arms and armor is going to be a really great one to have going forward and to be able to search for that. And I can get, information about arms and armor in Europe in different time periods, edged weapons, armor, projectile weapons, all sorts of different cool stuff. Right. As I mentioned, you can also do those place searches. So if you maybe had a specific city like Ravenna, and I can look at the Ravenna article, learn about it, get about the city. And I think, right, it's also going to show me these different buildings, right? And I can go to, say, San Vitale, which is a really important Byzantine church with, sort of famous mosaics, and I can learn about them, get pictures, and get a bibliography of sources. Okay, that's Oxford Art Online. Now I also want to show you the Oxford Dictionary of the Middle Ages, right? So rather than being focused all on art, it's focused all on the Middle Ages. So it's going to have reference sources for things beyond art that relate to the Middle Ages. So you can get a little bit about it and see sort of the alphabetical listings of the articles, right? And see different topics, right? A lot of them are kind of beyond art. Once again, you can search here. When you search in Oxford Reference, which holds many of the Oxford encyclopedias, including this one, if you search here, you're going to search all of Oxford Reference. We just want to search this one, so we're going to search within this work down here, and we might say, remember, we learned that arms and armor was a good term. Okay, and here's the article on arms and armor, and they're going to tell us about the arms and armor of the Middle Ages specifically. What's nice about these encyclopedias is that they're signed by the scholars that wrote them, and they give us, once again, a really nice selection of sources that we could follow up on. And say, I noticed Kelly DeVries, who wrote this, also wrote this book, Medieval Military Technology. Maybe I want to follow up and actually find that book. So I'm just going to copy this here. And I'm going to go back home to our medieval art guide, and I'm going to go into the library's catalog, right? This is the catalog of really just the library's books, ebooks, and things that we own locally or that you can get like that online, like streaming media and ebooks. So videos, books, and ebooks, really. I'm going to put in medieval military technology. And in this case, you'll see we have that book. It's available here. It's in the stacks. It's got this call number, so you could go up and find it in the stacks. And you'll also see when you go up there, other books on that topic. You can also use these similar item buttons to find other related good books, like a companion to medieval arms and armor. That looks great. If you don't want to go up to the stacks and find it, you can always place a hold and we'll pull it for you. Let's try this companion to medieval arms and armor. So another good book. And you can also use subject headings to find other books, right? Military weapons, Europe, history to 1500. That seems like a pretty good subject heading. Click on that, we'll search it, and it will give me other books, such as Medieval Arms and Armor, a source book that is actually an online ebook. Okay, so I've covered background sources and then also how to find books in the library's catalog. But we can also use the library's OneSearch service, which searches books and articles, scholarly articles, magazine articles from across a wide variety of disciplines. So I'm just going to throw in San Vitale. We'll notice we're getting some peer-reviewed articles down here, but this first entry is actually that Oxford Art Online article we saw, which I could get to, just to let you know, from right here as well. But I'm seeing some peer-reviewed articles on a wide variety of topics, so it's not always, as relevant, like a 3D recording maybe, it's not, this is completely off topic, right? And that just happens because OneSearch has so many different articles from so many different subjects in it. You can limit it down a little bit by hitting peer-reviewed articles. So it'll take out that reference entry. It'll take out some of the non-peer-reviewed articles you might find, but it's still going to have articles from other subjects. It's still a great way to discover scholarly articles. For example, here's the article on the Basilica of San Vitale. And I'm going to look for a specific article. Let's see, from here. Okay, so here's an article, the Procopius and the Imperial Panels of San Vitale, right? Since this is an article, I'm not going to be able to find it in the library's catalog, but I will hopefully be able to find it in OneSearch, because OneSearch includes articles. So I'm going to throw that title in here, and here we go. I can get that article. And here it is. I can go ahead and read it. That would just be the PDF here, or we're going to wait for that. Okay, it looks good. Here's some great images, information about the panels. Going back to our good medieval art research guide, instead of using a huge big database like OneSearch that has stuff from all different disciplines, sometimes we can specialize our databases into a very specific topic. There's a couple different very specific medieval and Renaissance databases. The two that I think are the best are the Propolis Medieval and Early Modern Bibliographies and ITER Bibliography. I'm going to go into ITER because it's good, it's easy to use. It actually has a interface that looks a lot like OneSearch because it's from the same company. But we're not just searching all of the same stuff that you might find in other EBSCO databases. We're searching only the stuff in the ITER bibliography. So I might do Anglo-Saxon sword. And now I'm going to get, really relevant articles because we've narrowed just to articles about the Middle Ages, right? And we can see some really cool articles: swords, warrior graves, the sword in Anglo-Saxon England, Anglo-Saxon sword manufacturer. Here's a specific one that maybe they found. Yeah. You'll notice that you'll find peer-reviewed articles like this one, as well as books. Okay. Another really useful database for medieval studies is JSTOR. JSTOR is an online archive of scholarly material, and it searches through the full text of the articles it does have, which makes it a really powerful tool to discover articles because you're able to search for mentions within the text. However, it only searches the articles that it actually has full text scans of, which means it doesn't have as many articles as you can discover in some other sources. Just go into JSTOR. We can do our same Anglo-Saxon sword search here. This window. And we can see some of the same articles and maybe some different ones. This is a different one. This is actually maybe a review of a book. And you can see that these are sort of more general articles. They're not as focused on swords because the word sword just shows up somewhere in these articles. I might also try good old San Vitale. And what I'm noticing here come up as well, beyond these scholarly articles on San Vitale, I'm also noticing images. So JSTOR also has tons of images that you can find. And I can click over onto this image tab. And it can be a really great place to search as well for images. I'm getting plans, I'm getting images of the buildings, I'm getting images of the mosaics. So I can really find just a ton of images here in JSTOR. I'll just mention that I've linked images here. ArtStore is actually now on JSTOR. So those ArtStore images, those are in JSTOR, and we were just looking at those. Okay, I hope that's been a helpful introduction to doing medieval art research. Please feel free to reach out to me, right? Schedule an appointment or shoot me an email. My information is right here. And as well as there's other sources on this guide that I didn't talk about, but you should feel free to explore those because you can find some really cool things in those databases as well. So thank you so much.